Oh la la, 7 verbs all at once. Our goal is not necessarily that we memorize all the forms of these. So right now we just want to start seeing that we're aware of them a little bit more. Most of these we've at least seen in some forms already. Like I know that you've seen to want sometimes, and you've seen maybe just the je form or the tu form. So we're going to start looking at more of them. The goal right now is to add them to our verb chart so we have them for reference. I know that everyone at least has the concept of conjugating verbs, right? So if you have these on your chart and you can at least look back and apply them, we're good for right now. And then little by little, we start adding them. So we're not going to do a ton of like drill, 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 just seeing where they are, right? To start with, probably you always want to be able to talk about yourself and say things you're doing. So the je form is always important. And then usually you're having a conversation, not talking to just to yourself. So the tu form, talk to someone else. Also, as we look towards the near future, I've been telling you that there's going to be another kind of verb tense where you have to know the present in order to get to it. So the one we're going to do the most soon in French 2, you're going to have to know the new form of verbs to get to that new verb tense. So that's something to start thinking forward to. And in French 3, there's a bunch of verbs we're going to do in another tense. They're going to know the il plural form to get the base of what that's going to be. So just things to start looking forward to. So we want to, today if we were in class, we would go over these, we put them in our verb chart and you'd hear them. So I don't want to just give them to you online to copy down and that you haven't heard them. So we're practicing. So that's what this is for. So add all these to your verb chart and you always have your verb chart for reference. Okay, so, and again, some of these verbs you've seen already, maybe not all the forms, but some of them. And don't forget, we always have to know what they mean too, so we can actually use them. So I've given them to you all the meaning, all the present tense forms, and then also the past tense underneath. Most of these, if not all of them, we've already seen in passé composé recently. So they all use avoir, and we know we have to conjugate the right form of avoir to match, right? And then we just add this ending. So let's do the present tense. That's our focus today of mettre. Je mets, tu mets, il met, nous mettons, vous mettez, il met. Most important thing for pronunciation is remember that all of these verbs that end with ent, they have a silent ending. We never pronounce the ENT on the end of verbs. Il met. The verb voir. Je vois, tu vois, il voit, nous voyons, vous voyez, il voit. You notice on all of these verbs that the je and tu are the same. They all either end with S, S, T. Some teachers like to say Sam sucks toes, and you're like, oh my God, what? Yes, works. Sam sucks toes. Or in the case of these here, X, X, T. But all of these, the je and tu are the same. So keep that in mind to help you remember. Passé composé of these, we know avoir mis, we know avoir and vu. Okay. Pouvoir. Je peux. Tu peux. Il peut. Nous pouvons. Vous pouvez. Ils peuvent. So notice that in the boot form here, they all start P-E-U. But the nous and vous form, P-O-U. Something to kind of separate. Vouloir and devoir are very similar ideas. Je veux, tu veux, il veut. Look how those are exactly like pouvoir, except for with a V. Nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent. So just like pouvoir, the je, tu, il, and il plural start with an EU there, but the nous and vous have an OU. And then devoir, same idea. The je, tu, il, and il are going to have an OI in them, whereas the nous and vous are going to be DEV. Je dois, tu dois, il doit, nous devons, vous devez, ils doivent. And our passé composé we've seen before. Again, we do the right form of avoir and then we put pu, voulu, du with accent circumflex. Prendre. So yes, this is an RE verb, but it's not a regular RE verb, so it doesn't work like vendre. The je, tu, and il forms are regular though. They look like vendre would. Je prends, tu prends, il prend. But these three forms, the plural forms, are irregular. Nous prenons, vous prenez. So we got rid of the D in them. And then ils prennent, two N's. So we have to notice the nous and vous only have one. The plural has two. Nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent. In passé composé, pris. And then suivre. This one might be completely new. It means to follow, like my dog is following me. Or it also means to take, but in the sense of to take a class. Whereas prendre is to take, like to take the bus. In France, they also use prendre a lot with food, like to say I'm going to have a sandwich, je prends un sandwich. But suivre is to take just if I'm taking a class. Je suis un cours de biologie. Je suis. You're like, wait, but isn't that the same form as être? How am I going to know the difference? Context, right? If I say je suis sympa, you know that it means I am nice. But je suis un chien. Hopefully you don't think I'm saying I'm a dog. I'm saying I'm following a dog. Okay? So we have je suis, tu suis, il suit, nous suivons, vous suivez, ils suivent. And again, we notice that the je, tu, il, and il plural have similar stems here. That's the beginning part of the verb. You, I. Same with nous and vous. Okay, so they're all very similar. And passé composé is suivi. So it's an RE verb, but it ends with an I. Oh la la.